calling the cases.
Yep. It's just a call to order. This is the morning session of the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City, morning docket for January 19th, 2017. I would like to inform everyone, if you have an electronic device, please silence that device or put it on vibrate. This is, as I said, the morning docket. The regular items to be heard are new transfers, expansions, and hardships. When your case is called, please step up to the front and state your name into the microphone. And if you're going to be giving testimony, please be prepared to be sworn in. I'm going to defer. Do you want me to defer before I call the first case, or you'd like me to call the first case?
Actually, would you mind if I took a moment?
No, go
just
ahead.
very quickly. One of the reasons we delayed a little bit coming out this morning, tomorrow is a really important day. We're going to have a lot of changes in leadership down in Washington, D.C. One of the other really important things that's happening here in Baltimore, we're not having a change of leadership, but the leadership of this board will be celebrating his 70th birthday.
Good, right? I look good.
So we gave him a card and a T-shirt, two T-shirts, which we would encourage him to show you all if he feels confident enough to do that. But we also wanted to celebrate with all of you, and if you don't mind, we have cupcakes for you in your honor. There's one that has a special number on it in honor of your day.
Oh, this is.
So happy birthday.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
My husband tells me to dance, not sing. So.
It was never my plan to become 70, but I guess I'm going to, whether I like it or not. So thank everybody.
So consider the alternative. We have cupcakes for everybody. So if you want to just hand them out, or if you want to just mosey onto the back, but it's not required to have a cupcake to get a positive decision on your case. But thank you.
Notice, Commissioner Moore, that the cupcakes aren't for the folks that are have violation hearings later today. So.
We'd like them to be all gone by the 1 o'clock time. Yeah. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you all very much. It's nice to still be celebrating them. So I look forward to it. Okay, we're ready to proceed?
Yes, sir. Calling the first case, Juliana McGuire, Sangria LLC, trading as Sangria, 930 North Charles Street. This is a Class B beer, wine, and liquor license. It's an application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment and outdoor table service.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy birthday.
Are you flying
Thank you.
solo today? Oh, no. Another big occasion.
Did I get two of these?
Oh, did you get to?
I think I did.
For me. Oh, thank you.
And let me just indicate for those of you who have not been here, we're being recorded and televised, so when you speak, you need to lean into these microphones, which you can adjust to your own height. And would you raise your right hands, please?
I do swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I swear.
Okay. Counsel, identify yourself.
Good. Justin Williams and the law firm Rosenberg Martin Greenberg. Here with me today is Juliana McGuire, the licensee applicant for Sangria LLC.
Good morning. What would you like to tell us about this
May I
application?
proceed by way of proffer?
Yes.
So this is an application for a transfer of a license at the same location, 930 North Charles Street. A bit of background for you. This came before you in July or June of 2016. This is former Red Maple space, and the outgoing licensee, Leonard Clark, was attempting to move on to a new establishment in Belvedere Square, I believe, and so we had requested, or the landlord requested the transfer ownership to the landlord so Leonard could go to the Belvedere Square location, and you approved that transfer. But the license was never issued to Sangria LLC or anybody, and so the liquor board staff advised that we're transferring technically from Rima LLC to Sangria LLC today. Makes
I
sense?
understand. That was part of a financial arrangement?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I think commissioners recall that. So what are the plans for Sangria?
Sure. So in your folder of exhibits today, there's a folder of the space. Sorry, a picture of the space. It's former Red Maple Restaurant, 930 North Charles Street. There's a restaurant on the ground floor of the premises. The upper floors are occupied, are used as residential space. In your packet of materials, a concept menu for the restaurant. Sangria is a concept that will focus on. Excuse me.
Do you want some water? actually don't have any cups.
We have a picture. if
We can
wanna
give you a
take
cupcake. Yeah.
Sorry. It is a restaurant lounge concept that focuses on small plates and tapas and sangria. It's modeling itself after a popular New York and Las Vegas restaurant concept called Beauty and Essex that'll focus on providing a sophisticated, trendy atmosphere for patrons to mingle over a glass of sangria. In your exhibits, there's a floor plan and interior photos of the space, so it's kind of swanky and cool. Sangria has brought in Kathleen O'Brien to develop the food menu. She was the private chef for Will and Jada Smith and has experience in the West Coast and now the East Coast, and they're bringing her in to develop the menu more fully. We've met with the Mount Vernon Belvedere Association. I have a letter of support, hot off the press today.
Give it to Ms. Russell.
Some water for you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, which improvement association is
The
that?
Mount Vernon Belvedere Association. And Mr. Eric Evans is here today also in the audience.
Okay,
We entered into an MOU, which I will hand to you.
okay.
It's not my
Actually, please give it to Ms. Russell.
hand to Ms. Russell when I have it. Let me go back to my chair. The licensee applicant is Juliana McGuire. She's a fit and proper person to hold the license. She is a Maryland native and a graduate of Virginia Tech University and has an MBA from Bellevue University in Nebraska in management operations. She has extensive experience in the restaurant and nightlife industry in the Washington, D.C. area. She's familiar with the rules and regulations and pledges to abide by them. As far as the criteria to approve the application, there's a public need and desire for the license. We met with the Community Association to support the transfer ownership, as indicated by the letter of support. There are a number of licenses in the Mount Vernon Belvedere area. The proposed concept, however, is unique to the area and will bring new patrons to the community and support the community there. Again, for the potential commonality and uniqueness of services, Sangria's unique concept and provide an amenity to the Mount Vernon Belvedere community and to the city of Baltimore. There will be no negative impact to the general health, safety, or welfare of the community. The licensee is an experienced manager. There's residential space above the restaurant, and we will not want to disturb the residential space above. And the letter of the community support, we request that you support the transfer of ownership.
Okay. And Ms. McGuire, tell us a little bit about your background.
I've been managing nightclubs and restaurants in the Washington, D.C. area. I've held ABRA as well as management licenses for the area. Born and raised in Northern Virginia and Bethesda, Maryland. I still consult with a lot of venues between here, New York, and D.C. on a regular basis, 2 to 3 times a week with private events as well as regular ongoing events.
And what are your plans about staff?
I've already done a little bit of hiring in terms of bartenders. I wanted to wait for this to be finalized before I could really bring in and make sure that things were finite. I don't want to be giving half information to employees since I didn't have a confirmed date.
When do you anticipate opening?
We ideally wanted to open within the next week or 2, but again, I wanted to make sure this was confirmed before I could start bringing in definite staff.
Okay. Do the commissioners have questions?
No.
Ms. McGuire, how often will you be at the restaurant?
At least 5 days in the week.
Okay.
More than likely every day, but
Sure. I was just, and I know that you live here in Baltimore, is that correct?
Federal
So
Hill.
okay, great. So you will be here. And just sort of as a general, it's not particular to your matter, but one of the things that, you're, I notice, a minority owner in this. So I assume Mr. Jones is not present?
Correct.
Okay. So that's just, okay. And,
She's an authorized person of the LLC.
okay. All right. I have nothing further.
Can you tell us a little bit about Mr. Jones?
Mr. Jones is the majority owner, backing the restaurant financially, but Ms. McGuire is running the day-to-day operations.
So it's an investment for him.
Correct.
All right, and the MOU, is that actually
Yeah,
signed?
It is. I can get a copy if you,
Because we should make that part of the license.
with your indulgence.
Oh, sure. So I left Northern Virginia this morning. The traffic, 495 is just a beast.
and it's like that all the time.
Right.
All the time. I had to learn how to drive on 495.
I started to go in the breakdown lane, and I thought that would probably be terrible if I did that.
The counterparts in Prince George's County had some trouble driving, so be careful.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
No comment.
So the commission now has before it an MOU dated January 18, 2017, and signed by the Mount Vernon Belvedere Association and by Ms. McGuire. So this will be received in evidence. Are we ready to go forward? Okay, on the basis of the materials that are provided in the application and those which have been introduced into evidence this morning at the hearing, as well as the proffer from counsel and testimony of Ms. McGuire, I would vote to approve the transfer.
I would as well.
I would concur. And are we making this part, the MOU, part of
Yes.
the license?
Yes, thank you. I meant to say that. So these will
He's
act as
70.
restrictions. Not yet. Tomorrow I become constitutionally senile. Today I'm still very much with it, hopefully. But these will be restrictions on the license, okay? Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'd like to call the exhibits for the record. Applicant Exhibit 1, Business Plan. Applicant Exhibit 2, Mount Vernon Belvedere Letter of Support. Exhibit number 3, MOU dated January 13, 2017, between applicants and Mount Vernon Belvedere Association. Thank you.
Calling the second case, Solomon Ashfaha and Anthony Flood, Solab LLC, trading as Wolf Liquors, 1642 through 44 North Wolf Street. This is a Class A2 beer, wine, liquor license. It's an application to transfer ownership.
For the record, Melvin J. Kadansky, we run into a problem. Both the applicants are downstairs. They don't, one, Mr. Solomon has his ID on his phone, which they won't take. So my question is to the board is if it's possible, I could get him to go and come back at 1 o'clock, go home to get it, or move it to the following week.
Is there anything we can do to facilitate him getting through security?
They said they won't let him come up no matter what.
Oh,
And for some reason now,
and
this
they
is
have guns, so I'm not going to argue
This is
with them.
something new. They've been telling a lot of people they don't carry their wallets. They take the picture of their license on their phone. Like when you go to the airport, you can get your ticket, but apparently that's not good enough.
Maybe we can give security a cupcake?
We have a pretty long docket this afternoon, that's the problem.
So if
We have 11 cases.
How long would it take him to get this?
well, I don't know if he can go, either be first at 1 o'clock or move it to next week if that's easier, because I don't think you have that many next week.
Well, it might be better to do it next week, because we have a really long afternoon docket.
Yeah, next week.
And then I'll go downstairs. I'll tell them to get it and be ready next week on it.
Okay, I'm
about
sorry,
that.
but
No,
there,
Oh, yeah, the issue is that we have to post 14 days in advance.
on a continuance, I don't think you have to do that.
can they waive that?
It's we have to post online 14
It's-
days. I don't know if that's waivable because that's the state law after the Alcohol Beverage
E-
Act.
Even when you're continuing a hearing.
Well, the issue is to give notice to anybody that would want to come in and comment, protest, support. So,
We can move it to the
If we could-
afternoon docket. Is this going to be? Is there any opposition? I'm sorry.
No.
well, the issue is the schedule. I mean, we've discussed such a full
11
docket.
cases this afternoon.
If I can get him here, it's bada bing, bada boom.
Oh, don't say that. We always
Well, let's give it a try. See if you can get him here at 1 o'clock.
He may not, then I appreciate the.
Okay, then we'll see what we go from there. Okay, thanks.
So this is potentially postponed. Okay. Or is postponed.
Continue to 1 p.m.
Call the third case. Amy Miller and Stanley Freeman, Reed Park Incorporated, trading as the Drinkery, 203 through 09 West Reed Street. This is a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Application to transfer ownership. Request to add live entertainment.
For the record, Melvin J. Kadansky representing the applicants.
Good morning, Mr. Katansky, and would all of those who are going to testify raise their right hands, please?
I swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Do you need
record,
them
it's
to
a trans-
identify themselves?
You want them now to identify?
I guess not. Okay. You may proceed.
Well, for the record, this is a transfer from an existing location. Both the applicants have been associated with the location for well over 17 years. They're familiar with the operation of the place. If you remember, Mr. Allen was rather elderly and at the time to transfer the license. And Amy has agreed to be the licensee, and Stanley also. In this case, they met with the Mount Vernon Belvedere. We had conversations, and I'll submit a letter of approval. I'll give it to Ms. Russell.
Is it an MOU or no?
Birthday, what is it, the Beatles? They say it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. So,
There's also.
Pretty good.
there is no, it's the better one than the other one. And along with it, there is a memorandum of understanding that was signed dated yesterday by Mount Vernon Belvedere, today by the applicants. I'll give Ms. Russell one. Here is a copy if you want to peruse it. Make that part of the record and also part of the license. We reviewed it with the license, prospective licensees. They're familiar, nobody forced or threatened them. They understand that's the terms and conditions that they have to abide by. In addition to that, there are various things that have already been done. Their alcohol certification, the background check. We have copies of all the receipts. I'll submit this in one package to Ms. Russell. They don't plan to make any changes in the operation. If you look at the MOU, there was a discussion concerning live entertainment, and the only type of live entertainment they've been doing over the years is basically karaoke. They're going to agree to limit themselves to karaoke to no more than 3 times, and maybe on the holidays. They have security. They agreed to cooperate with the police department in Mount Vernon Belvedere. Ms. Miller is going to give her phone number and vice versa, so they can have a line of communication. There'll be no dancing, no private events. It'll be pretty much the continuing the operation that's there. Mr. Allen, of course, getting up in years, and I think it's time for him to make the move. There'll be no adverse effect on the community. The public need to kind of spend there. I don't know, your records are probably since maybe Prohibition.
Not quite that long.
Close. Well, I like Prohibition. That was a nice time.
72.
Not good for your practice?
Yeah.
No.
You may remember what the Chipperellis and
I don't have any recollection. I'm
another
getting too
story
old.
for another day.
Not till tomorrow.
Oh, now he's old. A minute ago he wasn't, you know. Only we can use that excuse.
So basically, they've met all the criteria. They're familiar with the business. We know physical changes. And hope this will be a smooth transition and be able to get along with the neighborhood.
Okay, well, first of all, the commission has before it a letter from Eric Evans of the Mount Vernon Belvedere Association supporting it and indicating that there's been an MOU that is also before us, dated January 19, and signed off by the Mount Vernon Belvedere Association and the proposed license transferees. So we'll receive those in evidence as well as the other documents that you have proffered. And my recollection of the last time we dealt with the drinkery was that we were very much focused on the fact that the licensee at the time had gotten up in years and was not hands-on or able to really manage the place in the way that it required. So I think, at least from my perspective, this is a good sign. But commissioners?
I agree. Amy, Ms. Miller, could you just tell us a little bit about your background and experience?
Well, my whole family, both sides, have been in the bar business, so I kind of grew up in it, and I focused more on the drinkery the last couple years of all the ins and outs and hiring security. I updated cameras, so even when I'm not there, I can always see. If I could get in your internet, I could show you. You know, I can always see what's going on, and if there's a problem, sometimes, you know, finding out about it the minute it happens is a lot better than waiting to hear the next day the different, you know, because then you get different stories. But so I'm really more hands-on than, you know, my grandfather was. So that helps a lot, and working better with the staff as far as what they needed from me and what I needed from them. So we're kind of like all on the same page now. Everybody's, you know, comfortable with contacting me in the middle of the night if need be, or whatever. So
Okay.
a little more hands-on than before.
Great. I'm recalling there were issues surrounding clashes with the community, and I'm not referring to, you know, fisticuffs, but just differences of view of what the drinkery
Right.
is, what it should be, how it operates.
Right.
Do you have a plan to address that, or at least to
Well, I think we've
respond?
already kind of worked that out.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, we don't have any ticketed events. We don't have anything that's gonna, we don't have the space for that. So it's just basic, sit down, have some drinks, you know, a couple days a week, sing some karaoke, and that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't have any kind of, I don't know what you would call it. I guess, like I said, a ticketed event, we don't have anything like that. No DJs or anything like that.
And you feel like the relationships between the drinkery and the community
I think
at
so.
large are better?
Yes, I think
Okay.
so.
And
Yeah.
I'm getting nods from Mr. Freeman as well. Okay. All right.
No, I'm thrilled that this transfer is taking place. I'm also thrilled that you guys have an MOU in place with the community and the support of the Mount Vernon Belvedere Association. I do recall specifically, as Commissioner Moore said, there were generally 3 different issues that we were dealing with and the community objected to, which were noise, trash, and loitering.
Right.
And so the MOU is great. I want to hear a little bit more proactive. I mean, such as, you know, for instance, let me just a couple questions. One is, will you be engaging? Will you be attending the Mount Vernon Belvedere Association meetings? Will you? You live in Bel Air, Miss Miller, as I note.
Yes.
You obviously won't be there all the time. Will you have other numbers to give Mr. Evans or his colleagues,
Sure.
so that we can make sure that when you're not there on the spot, to your earlier point, that there is someone that, you know,
I
can
have
be
a manager who lives in the building.
terrific.
So I'm there every day, 7 days a week, till probably 3, 4 o'clock, and then he's there 7 days a week as well.
Okay.
So, and yeah, we communicated that, you know, whatever needs to be addressed, you know, no matter what time it is,
And-
that they can always call. And I've put, I don't really know what it's called, but a noise control, like on the jukebox, for even when we don't have karaoke, the jukebox cannot be heard. I didn't know you could do such a thing until I researched.
It's
and
a
then
governor.
That, yeah, I
I would
had
think it
that
would be the
taken care
mute
of.
button.
Well, there is a mute button, but I mean, I had it actually in the, because everything's computerized now. I had everything put on a certain level that even with the remote, no one can change that but me.
That's terrific. The only other thing I might suggest is going back and looking at our video from when the protest of renewal occurred. I do recall, for instance, Mark Henderson, Mr. Henderson, had raised some serious objections to. So I would do some proactive reaching out to some of the specific
Right.
folks who are adjacent to you. But I'm pleased with this progress.
No, I mean, this is just me talking. I feel like the Drinkery is a Baltimore institution, and it's very important to Baltimore. And I'm just happy that so many good people came together and worked together to get us to today. I mean, this is what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And this is a model for how it can be done and be done right.
Yes, Mr. Evans.
I'll just say on behalf of the Mount Vernon Belvedere Association, we view this MOU as a first step in moving beyond what's happened in the past, keeping lines of communication open. And this will not always be easy, but
Right. No, I agree.
you know, we're here to work with you. We're not here to obstruct. We welcome you. You've been a member of the community for many, many years. And we'd like to move forward.
Thank you.
That's a good question.
Wonderful.
Mr. Evans, I don't, because this has come back to bite us in the past. Do you own any liquor establishments yourself?
I do not.
Okay, thank you.
I own property, but not liquor.
I just wanted to make sure.
Are we ready then? Thank you. On the basis of the evidence that has been presented before the commission this morning, the memorandum of understanding with Mount Vernon Belvedere Improvement Association, the other documents, and those materials contained in the application and your testimony from each of the witnesses, I would vote to approve the transfer of ownership and the live entertainment request subject to the terms of the memorandum of understanding.
I agree.
I concur. Good luck.
Good luck.
Best of luck to everybody.
Best of luck.
I call the exhibits for the file. Applicant 1, letter of support from Mount Vernon Belvedere Association. Exhibit 2, MOU dated January 19, 2017, between applicants and Mount Vernon Belvedere Improvement Association. Exhibit 3, background check info packet. Thank you.
Calling the next case, Evan Moritz and Richard Royer, World Theater Company, LLC. Trade name is Pending. This is 404 to 06 North Howard Street. This is a Class D beer, wine, liquor license. Application to transfer ownership and location of Class D beer, wine, liquor license presently located at 225 West Reed Street to 404 through 06 North Howard Street with live entertainment.
For the record, Melvin J. Kadensky representing the applicants.
Good morning. Gentlemen, would you raise your right hands, please?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And which one of you is Mr. Royer? And Mr. Moritz? Okay. And is this place an open, it's an active theater? Or no?
It's not active as of yet. It hasn't been opened yet.
But the thought is that it is going to be a theater with the opportunity for people to purchase alcohol
Correct.
at intermission?
Yes.
Got you guys mixed up. So
Royer.
And Moritz.
Moritz.
Yes.
And that's the intent?
Yes.
The sort of standard theater bar?
As I understand, yeah, this is the shame of the matter, was they were approved by the board, and they didn't get it done within 180 days. They had almost 85% of all their things done, and then they had to reapply, and they're, they said, probably 45 days away from going ahead and getting the final approvals to go ahead and transfer the license. In connection therewith, of course, they've met, and we have letters from the downtown partnership from Carolyn Perry. We have a letter here from Mark Wasserman, Senior Vice President of the University of Maryland Medical System. I'm sorry.
These are letters
Letters
of
of
support.
support from Bromo Tower Arts and Entertainment District, Jessica Solomon. From Towner Management on Utah Street, Barker French. Looks like Kirby Fowler is involved again. Huh?
These are award letters from the
Award-
state. Yeah.
some award letters. These are some of the more letters from the downtown partnership and so forth. It's supposedly to be a welcome addition to the Howard Street corridor and in the type of operation they want to have. And it's just a matter, since they were approved before and most everything was done except to give them the time to finish the bill. And I know that there's some discussion about changing the legislation on, but when they go in, they try to get permits. It's so difficult sometimes to get the hookups, the building people to come out and do
What was the
everything.
facility before?
It was
Say your name when you.
Richard Royer. It was Uniform City. It had been Uniform City for 50 years.
Is that a retail or
It
wholesale?
was retail, yeah,
Okay.
up until about 2.5 years ago.
And what kind of productions are you all planning?
Well, it'll kind of be a mixed-use art space, arts and entertainment space. It's a very large building, so we'll also have artist studios and offices in there, as well as a large performance space and a decent-sized bar.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I mean, since everything that they had submitted before they were approved, I don't know if there's any difference other than they're just had to reapply because of they ran out. I knew that there was some talk about some legislation to give the board a little discretion in areas where St. Gas and Electric can't give you your hookup in time, and you're saying, well, that I have no sway over the Gas and Electric. They can't put a 2-inch gas line or whatever they're going to do there.
Commissioners?
So tell us about some of the folks that have certified to knowing you for at least 3 years. Tell us about Doreen Bolger and how she came to sign your application.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Give your name when you say.
Evan Moritz. I've known Doreen Bolger for 10 years now. Doreen Bolger's been not only a patron of our theater endeavors, but also has been a major supporter and a big initiator in our efforts to start this Lamondo project. She's the executive director of the BMA as of about a year or so ago.
Okay. And there's another signer. Is that Richard Burnt, who I would know as Rick Burnt? So tell us a little bit about how he knows you.
Maybe
Or you.
a better quick answer.
Yes, so that would be Richard Burnt Jr., so Rick's
The son.
Rick's son.
Okay.
And I've known John, that goes by John, John Burnt for, ever since I've been in Baltimore. I met him in 2003 in the Bromore Arts, what is now called the Bromore Arts District. And I've been part of his nonprofit, a member of his nonprofit in the past. He runs the High Zero Foundation. We've been artistic collaborators and just close friends for about 12 years now.
Okay. And can you just fill us out a little bit on how this license would be used at this space?
Well-
I keep hearing a large bar, a large bar, a large bar. So
Yeah.
put
So-
some meat on those bones.
Okay.
Or an olive in that martini. Whatever. Yeah, but details, please.
So it's a 6-day license. So every day but Sunday we'll have performances, some music, some film screenings. We've designed the space that even though it's large, we both designed the spaces before that can become mutable, so that it can be cut off in certain ways. You can have multiple events in the space simultaneously. It will be able to thrive off of the programming alone, the music, the screenings, the theater. But it will also, there are a lot of residential projects happening in that area. 600 units just popped up this year alone. And we also own the 2 adjacent properties wherein we're putting artist studios, live work studios, and apartments. So in addition to being a fully functional unit in and of itself, it'll be an amenity for the entire neighborhood and something to do for all those people that are moving in, and there's not much going on in that neighborhood as of yet. It will be an anchor for that burgeoning arts district.
And that's what makes having details about the space so important. It's not just like a warehouse area anymore. It's residential. And what do you see as the residential impact or the impact on residents?
Well, as I said, I think it's right now. I think that we are we have enough experience to push that bar and feed that bar with the programming, but we're also nurturing that space and that neighborhood in a way that it can become a destination, and people will come to the bar because there's a bar in the neighborhood. Right now, I think we're going to have to do a little bit of cultivating to get people in that bar, but we see a lot of progress in that neighborhood. And again, with a lot of full investment from this project, with buying 2 adjacent properties as well, we see it as being part of a larger development that's happening in that neighborhood.
And if I could speak to Evan Moritz, we in this past year had raised $1 million to finance this property. So we've recently closed on that. The majority of that financing we're going into underwriting with our one loan, but we've received from Able Foundation and the state of Maryland upwards of $600,000 in just granted funds alone. And part of that is about the state and the local foundations buy into this project. They not only want to see the neighborhood take off, but they want to see arts organizations be able to program there. For my part, I run a theater company that was both Baltimore Magazine and Baltimore City Paper's Theater of the Year last year. And we had the best play. It's the Annex Theater. And we had the best play last year, and we had the best actor. So our arts groups of some criticality, but very small spaces. And many of us, our different groups had come together to find a way to pool our resources and get the city to sell us some properties that where we could have larger capacity and slightly larger theatrical events.
So there was an interesting piece on NPR yesterday about the Yale rep. I don't know if you heard it. With August Wilson. And
that was good.
About what? What was it about?
I used to work for Mayor Martin O'Malley when he was mayor here, and one of the things I'll never forget he said is that artists are very similar to Marines. They go into neighborhoods and they're willing to risk and do whatever it takes to help improve that neighborhood. So, with that in mind, I love what you guys are doing. I think it's spot on. We've had other situations. I think one case previously that was similar in nature. But since you guys are very much Marines in my eyes, let me just ask you this question. I understand Mr. Rouse is an 85% owner. I presume that you understand that he too can be held in violation. Everybody, you guys are minority owners, that you're all responsible. So I just want to make sure and trust that you guys understand that from a rules and regulations standpoint.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
And even to the point, he understands that
Yeah.
as well, right?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
I don't think Mr. Rouse is any stranger to development, and he was involved down with the Bay Cafe and all those years, and I know his dad, J.W., for a long time when he was doing Columbia.
Just one last follow-up to what Commissioner Moore was saying about the residents and what you plan to do with the bar. Ultimately, if you're very successful, you are going to have security issues and other things that come along with that. So I just want, you're going to have to pay attention to those things so that you don't come back before us. But
Yes,
having said that, I congratulate you. I think it's a great opportunity today for us to, as a liquor board, to be able to support the cultural development in Baltimore City. So we're very pleased to do that. And on the basis of the evidence that has been presented to us and that which is in your application, I would vote to approve the transfer.
You know, it was pretty close for me, but if Doreen supports you, I support you. It sounds exciting.
Thank you.
And I think we've had a number of applications that on the one level, they're just applications for a liquor license. But if you look at it from a big scope, it really speaks to a lot of excitement that's happening in Baltimore, and it's exciting, enthusiastic project. So I support this totally.
Very much.
I concur as well, and it's, again, like Station North, I think it's terrific, and wish you the best.
Kevin and I both ran venues in there 11 years ago
Yeah.
before it was that. So we're trying to start up and, be two anchors and a new one too. So.
Great, I concur and wish you
Good luck.
best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
I'd like to call the exhibits for the record. Applicant Exhibit 1, 7 letters of support from community. Thank you.
Calling the next case, Daryl Strange, Truth Lounge LLC, trading at Truth Lounge 4507 through 09 Bel Air Road. This is a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. It's an application to transfer ownership and a request for live entertainment.
Commissioners, Abraham Hurdle for Daryl Strange and Truth Lounge.
Good
We have
morning.
a couple people coming up to
Yeah.
discuss, I guess, perhaps the MOU.
Yeah, let's get everybody who's going to testify up here. Please come forward, folks. I need to swear everybody in again.
Good morning.
Excuse me.
Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
So this matter was before the commission recently, and we encouraged you all to take a deep breath and go back and try to work things out. And so we're anxious to hear where you are.
We met that Sunday at the location with some of the immediate neighbors and Miss Jackson, and got a lot of similar discussions, maybe a couple more things that are concerns. The big issues I think last time that were discussed were parking, big issue, trash, security, clientele hours, noise, and I think a lot of that is solved with what I consider the most important issue, which is communication between the licensee and the neighbors. A lot of emails with Ms. Jackson, Ms. Dieter, and we ended up going to another meeting on Wednesday. Tuesday, sorry. It's been a long week. Up in Moravia at I guess it's a home, a nice place, nice apartment building over there.
That was one of the senior apartment buildings within the organization's boundaries.
Wonderful.
Are you Ms. Jackson?
I'm Mrs. Barbara Fox.
Okay, we have to make the record clear, and I don't think you were here the last time.
No,
Okay.
I was down in Williamsburg. I serve on the board of directors for Wyndham's Kings Gate Resorts, and I serve as their secretary treasurer. Kept me quite busy.
I bet.
In the meeting on Tuesday with the Frankfurt Improvement Association, Inc.,
Right.
which is a coalition of community groups, not just, and it's the community group, it's not the way
Right.
it was discussed. And we were able to discuss a lot of the concerns. We have an MOU I believe there's a signed copy that's going around. It has a parking agreement on the back, which we still need to get signed by the landlord for the parking lot, but is otherwise, I believe, agreed to. It includes parking requirements, security requirements, trash requirements, hours restrictions, noise concerns, live entertainment issues, and the communication phone numbers for everybody involved. We're hoping that the neighborhood seems to be willing to give us a chance, and we're hoping that things are not only not a problem for them, but also improved. One of the things we're having the security people do on weekends is actually kind of walk the block every hour, just to ensure that people aren't parking, that there isn't any trouble in the neighborhood. And additionally, Wednesday once a month, not sure if it's first or second, there's going to be a meeting for the immediate neighbors and whoever would like to come to sit down with the owner and either discuss neighborhood issues or issues that are potentially occurring with this place. Should be able to quickly react to any potential problems.
And have the folks who were here last time signed off on this MOU as
Ms.
well?
Dieter is one of the signers of the MOU. Ms. Jackson
You're
is.
nodding your head yes, right, Ms. Dieter?
Yeah, I'm sorry, yes, I did. We worked together very well.
Ma'am, in the mic.
Come on up there.
I've been working with the community.
Could you give us your name, please?
Margie Dieter.
Thank you.
Sworn in. And we've been working together very close with Ms. Jackson, all these people here. We got some more community sitting back there. And we all agree. We want to give Mr. Strange a try. He's really going out of his way to work with us. He's promised us some things that will improve our community. And at first we were against him, but we took him in as a neighbor, and we thanked him for investing in us. And I think it's going to work out.
So this is a good thing.
It's a good thing. And we thank you guys because you had us work together, and that did work out.
Well, in the end, it's going to benefit both sides because, you might as well kick the tires before you get going, right? Okay, do the commissioners have questions?
Just a question on your background. You mentioned that you were with the Baltimore City Police Department for some period of time. When did you leave the Baltimore City Police Department?
2011.
And why did you leave?
I've got another job opportunity working for ABC News, which my degree is actually in marketing and advertising, which was a little more there. I had taken a couple of the promotional exams and, was never,
on the list.
So, it was a better opportunity for me.
Okay.
So.
All right. Thank you very much.
I have no questions.
Okay. Well, I want to congratulate everybody for working together because I wasn't so sure when you left here that there was going to be a meeting of the minds. And perhaps Ms. Jackson was able to really facilitate that. I don't know. But thank you all for doing that and doing it in a constructive way. And on the basis of the information that we've obtained at both of these hearings before the board, and particularly with respect to this memorandum of understanding, which will be made a restriction on the license, I would vote to approve the transfer to Mr. Strange.
I support the transfer, but just a cautionary note that, well, first of all, I agree. Congratulations on working together and getting an agreement. And it is being made part of the license, and so it's enforceable. And I know that your attorney has explained that to you. After we had the hearing, a couple weeks ago, I was left with feeling that there was a little slice of this neighborhood that's most proximate to this site that's not as well represented as they should be, and I felt very concerned for those neighbors. And I'm so glad that you, Ms. Jackson, are here and you're present and you're aware and you're able to be somewhat of a voice, and some advocacy was applied to this. That's what needs to happen, and I'm happy that it did.
Thank you. One of the things that I had tried to do, and matter of fact, I guess you'll find I've been the president of that area for too long. I'm looking for new people all of the time.
I have someone that I could recommend to you.
Okay, very good.
To your left.
Yes,
she was
and
quite the advocate. herself.
Matter of fact, we are already on the way now of getting that. What's your street? Stanwood Neighborhood Association. And as you see, I have listed it as a coalition because my community is more than 2.5 square miles large.
That's huge.
And it also extends partially in the county of Rosedale. Some of my members have houses where the front part of their house is in Frankfort and their back is in Rosedale. So I work with quite a few of the leaders. We have Sedonia and the others too. So I'm more than happy to have it. But I didn't want to rush things because one element for parking was a concern because I don't like the community in all.
Right.
And when something came up and this minister said that, they can't be parking on my lot, and I'm saying we're going to have to deal with this. It takes time to get all of these people. So that was one of the reasons earlier that I'd asked for more time, but we were able to get through a lot of that. And thank you very much. And no, I wouldn't have missed the first meeting had I been able to be here.
It's okay. Thank you
So
for being
is
here today.
Shamrock Avenue in your?
That's in there too.
My grandmother lived there.
Okay. Well, I have a lot of folk in there, and we work very close. Matter of fact, we even extended to having a Northeast Housing Initiative project that many people will hear in the city later of try to help people who don't have homes in the 4x4 area.
I would concur with my colleagues. I congratulate everyone for coming together and open lines of communications going forward. I congratulate Mr. Strange and his council for working through these issues because I know they're tricky, especially with a community that has lost trust. And so I appreciate all you've done. I love the idea of the fact that you have security walking every hour around the block, which has to be comfort to the community. The only other thing I would ask, does Ms. Russell have a copy of the MOU?
No, I think we have a couple copies that were circulated. I'm not sure. I even have a
Here's one of the
copy at this point.
Thank you.
ones that's not signed, but all of those will be signed, including the signature for the parking, because I don't want one neighborhood to jump up on another one because of it.
Great. Well, I concur. Best of luck, and look forward to not seeing you guys here on violations.
I just wanted to say thank you to Ms. Jackson and Ms. Dieter. I know that these were two vocal members of the community, and it was a pleasure working with them, and I really appreciate the opportunity.
Headache.
But we all,
Yeah, but we thank you because, see, this area especially was something that I really want to investigate because the police in the Northeast District consider this a hot spot, several streets there. And that's something we want to really work with and have.
Maybe he's got some connections with the police.
Well, maybe, but the point of the matter is we have to get the citizens totally involved. And Ms. Dieter and Mrs. Davis and the other ladies that I met with and gentlemen, they vowed that they'll be working with us hands and gloves with this. We have one of the largest national night out areas for safety in the park.
Well, I got to tell you, if anybody deserves a cupcake, it's all of you. So
Yeah.
please,
Please,
on your way, please
yeah.
get a cupcake. And no, that's for you,
Special one.
Chairman.
You're afraid they'll make you older?
Yeah, I know you had a nice, I want to tell you, I have a new man that came in who was once my vice president. He's a retired business executive from IBM that's working with us. And
Great.
soon
Fantastic.
I'll bring you somebody else that's famous.
Okay.
Thanks.
Oh, okay. We love
Will
that.
you be excused?
All right.
You may.
Congratulations.
Ms. Russell?
You have some exhibits?
Yes.
I'd like to call the exhibits for the record at this time. Applicant Exhibit 1, MOU between applicant and Frankfurt Improvement Association. Thank you.
Okay, I think that concludes our morning docket. We'll recess till 1.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Be sure to get some cupcakes. These are going back. I'm going to run to the police room. Okay.
Pardon me.
Okay, yeah, I forgot that. Yes. There we go.
Good afternoon. This is the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City's afternoon docket. Today is Thursday, January 19th. It is the violation docket. When you hear your case called, please step up to the microphones and state your name clearly into the microphones. If you're going to be providing testimony, please be prepared to be sworn in. I'm going to call the first case on the docket. Oh, actually, strike that. Mr. Chair,
Yes,
if
call
we
the
may,
case from
can I
this
call
morning.
the case from this morning? Yes. This is a transfer case, actually. Going to be recalled from the morning docket. Case is Solomon Ashfaha and Anthony Flood, Solab LLC, trading as Wolf Liquors, 1642 through 44 North Wolf Street. This is a Class A2 beer, wine, and liquor license, an application to transfer ownership.
For the record, Melvin J. Kaninsky representing the licensee applicant.
Good afternoon. Sir, would you raise your right hand, please?
You swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And are you Mr. Asfaha?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Flood is a .5. He couldn't get his ID in.
You put your hand.
You can put your hand down, thank you.
This is a transfer of an existing location. It's a liquor store. It's an A2, one of the ones that were created years ago. Mr. Asfaha has been working in the store for the last 2 months. The owner who's there is going to stay on with him for about the next 4 months or so. He has taken the alcohol awareness course, and I have a copy of his certificate, which I'll give to Ms. Russell. He's also been fingerprinted. He's not going to make any changes. He is going to keep the same employees. Only about 2 or 3 people work there. It's a small store on Wolf Street. It's been there for a long time. Submitting now a copy of the alcohol awareness and a copy of the fingerprint. I've explained to him about photo ID that he has to when the awareness course he found. I also explained to him that he cannot take a phone with somebody's license on it.
Well, at least he can't get into City Hall that way.
Well, and they can't get served at the Wolf Street Liquors either. Other than that, there's no changes. There won't be any hardship to the crime, welfare, parking. The license has been there for quite some time and has been switched over from BD7 to an A2. When they did that, I can't remember how long they did that. I think Governor Mandel did that to put that legislation through.
You know, you say these things because we have no idea, and you can just get away with telling us.
I'm trying to do filler. I'm trying to do filler.
Yeah, not to parrot
That's okay.
Elizabeth Warren, but
Am I correct that there's no history of violations?
There is.
you're not correct.
I didn't,
There's one.
Pardon? Is
There's
there-
one from 2014. It's certainly not this licensee, but there's a 2014 violation.
Oh, okay. Okay, Commissioners, do you have questions?
Can you tell us a little bit about your background in the industry?
My background,
tell him what you did. He's from Eritrea.
Eritrea?
Eritrea?
I say Eritrea.
No, I'm not.
but-
I always have to be
but
somebody-
just
He
tell
knows
us.
better than we do.
Yeah, what do you
I
say?
am from Eritrea,
Okay.
Eritrea, Eritrea, which is located in East Africa, neighbor to Sudan and Ethiopia. And I came here.
Yeah, put
I came here in September 2010, which is
2010.
2010, 6 years ago, and I got my citizenship in 2015 January. Now I worked here in different places. First, I worked as in Amazon.com as a GSA.
Amazon.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I worked in parking, town park. After that, I work for the Uber company as an Uber driver up to now. But
Oh.
back home, I worked as a technician, telecommunication, in Ministry of Agriculture, and my qualification is I have a bachelor's degree in mathematics and in economics.
And you've been working here the last couple of months learning the business, is that
Yeah,
correct?
I'm working now since November. I worked in the liquor store with the owner.
And So you've been working at Wolf Liquors for a couple months,
Yeah.
just trying to learn the business and how it's managed. Do you plan to make any changes to the business and how it operates?
No, depending on the business, I will first observe the situation. If the business is getting more busy, I may change it.
And you live in Columbia, Maryland?
Yeah, but now I will move to Baltimore.
Okay, that was my next question. What is your plan for how often you'll be at the location?
Yeah, I will move to Baltimore if after I get the liquor.
All right, so you might get it today.
I hope so.
But, so
He's buying the property too.
you're buying the property?
property too, yeah.
Oh, where Wolf Liquors is located?
yeah.
Okay, I see, okay. All right, thank you very much.
You're
That's all the
welcome.
I don't have any
questions.
questions.
Okay. Thank you. On the basis then of the evidence that's been presented in the application, proffers from council and your testimony, sir, I would vote to approve the transfer.
I would as well.
Thank you.
I would as well concur, and congratulations. And you had me when you said you majored in mathematics.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Good luck, sir.
You weren't a math major, were you?
Far from it.
It's okay? Okay.
I'd like to call exhibits at this time. Applicant Exhibit 1, alcohol awareness certificate for Solomon Ashfa. Applicant Exhibit 2, fingerprinting receipt. Thank you.
Now moving on to this afternoon's violations docket. Calling the first case, Meng Zong Wang, Lucky 77, LLC, trading as A1 Convenience Store, 1625 Wilkins Avenue. This is a Class A beer wine liquor license. It's a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors.
And good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and I wish a happy birthday to the chairman.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Would you raise your right hands, please?
Do you swear, raise your right hands, please? Swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
And can they state their names, please, for the record?
Li Huang, Huang.
Ma'am, can you pull this mic down to you so that he can hear you?
Is it better now?
Did you get that, Bryce?
Huang, yeah. L-I.
And you, sir?
Main one?
Okay. Is this going to be an admission, Mr. Maslin?
No, Mr. Chairman, they dispute the allegations. They have
Okay.
a rather unique defense.
All right, let's hear from the inspectors.
They have to be sworn in.
They were all sworn.
Oh, they were?
Yes. Who's going to testify for the board?
Sorry.
Do you want to put a microphone up, or?
Inspector Chris Amalis, Baltimore City Liquor Board. On or about October 20th, 2016, at approximately 7:18 p.m., I, Inspector Chris Amalis, along with Agent Martin, while on duty and working with the Underage Task Force, visited A1 Convenience Store located at 1625 Wilkins Avenue in the city of Baltimore in the state of Maryland. Miss Victoria Cox, who is under the age of 21, while working with the Baltimore City Sheriff's Office, entered the establishment and purchased one 6-pack of Bud Ice and one 22-ounce bottle of Bud Ice, totaling $9.25. The cadet paid with a departmental $20 bill. After the cadet was served, the members of the Underage Task Force, consisting with the Baltimore City Sheriff's Office and Baltimore City Liquor Board, entered the establishment. We made contact with the person that served the minor and was identified as one Huang Li Gio, verified by a state of New York ID number, not giving the number. Miss Jujo was made aware that she served a minor. Violation was issued for selling alcohol to a person under 21. Inspectors conducted a compliance check, and the task force exited the location with no further incident.
Do you have questions for the inspector?
Inspector, you're reading from a report, but did you actually enter the establishment?
I did enter the establishment.
Did you enter the establishment at the time of the purchase?
I did not.
You were. All right. Now, you were outside the establishment.
That's correct.
You could not see what was transpiring inside the establishment.
That's correct.
Okay. So all this information you're relating is there were actually two individuals inside the store. Is that correct?
I believe a sheriff. You would have to ask the sheriff's office. I believe a sheriff accompanied the cadet.
Inside the store.
I believe so.
You omitted that from your
Correct.
from your in your dissertation, but you made it appear like there's just one individual in the store when actually there were two. Is that correct?
There was possibly two in the store. Sometimes the sheriff will accompany the cadet.
Okay. And you don't know what the sheriff did inside the store?
No, sir.
No knowledge whatsoever about that. And when you approached Ms. Wang and advised her of or Ms. Lee, when you advised her of that, she became very upset about the situation?
She was upset.
Yeah, okay. No further questions.
Okay. Anything further?
Not for me.
Is there someone from the sheriff's office here on this case? Please come forward. And you do? Okay. So, Deputy, can you tell us, did you enter the store?
Yes, with the cadet.
And can you tell us what happened?
We went to choose the alcoholic beverages, and then we went to purchase it, and she sold it.
Okay. Do you have questions for the
Yes.
deputy?
You went into the store with the cadet.
Yes, sir.
You were obviously together, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you were picking up alcoholic beverages, is that correct?
No.
You were not?
The minor did.
The minor-
No, but you, sorry.
Wait a minute, you told the minor what to pick up, is that correct?
The minor did.
The minor did. You were standing there with her?
Yes, we had conversations, yes.
All right. I don't have any further questions.
Thank you.
I'd like to call Ms. Wang.
You may.
Thank you. State your name, please.
Li Huang, Huang.
Now, Ms. Wang, you were inside your liquor establishment, is that correct?
Yes,
And you're TAM certified, is that correct?
yes,
And you know to ask for identification if someone's under 21, is that correct?
yes.
Can you explain to His Honor Judge Mastroscani and the other commissioners, Ms. Moore, Mr. Greenfeld, what happened in this case and why you conducted this transaction?
See, what happened is that gentleman and a girl came in, and then the gentleman was saying, bad eye, six pack, was talking to the girl. So I assume he was the one who's purchasing the liquor, the beer. So he said, oh, then six pack, then put on the table, and then tell the girl this, and on the other side is a bottle of bad eye. So altogether it was, and he told the girl to pay. Because I'm assuming my oversight was that this man is buying, not the young girl's buying. So he just told the girl to pay. So I mean, it's like oversight on my side. That he come in, he said, I want this, I want that. No, they're talking to the girl. He didn't just keep quiet. If he keep quiet, it's a different story. If it's a young girl, I will ask for the ID. But because he was talking, he want this, he want that, and then just put it on the counter and then ask the young girl to pay. So my oversight was, I thought he was buying the beer. So the girl gave me the $20, and I just gave her the change without thinking that it was not the man buying, the girl paying. You see, that's my oversight. You see?
Okay.
That would be.
So after that, when he says I'm selling to a minor, then he showed me his ID. I said, you set me up. I told him, you set me up. You know, I just told him that you set me up. You see, it's like a setup, isn't it? I mean, anybody would have said, oh, this middle-aged guy come in, he said beer, he's talking to the girl, and after that, he asked the girl to pay. So an oversight that anybody would have done is, oh, this man's buying, then ask the girl to pay. We never thought about the girl is buying in that sense because she's paying me the money.
All right. And you've changed your policies in the store,
Yeah,
is that
because
correct?
no,
Now you don't accept, we won't accept any money from anybody regardless of the width unless they're over 21, is that
no,
correct?
yes. Because normally if the young girl come alone by herself, as calling report, you see the girl came by herself, I will ask her for the ID first before I sell her anything. Because normally young people, they come in, some even when they buy cigarettes, if you're not 18, you can't buy. I even throw them out. You see, that is the standard that we do. See, I've been here long enough. So but because I was thinking of the middle-aged man was buying the beer. He said, because he said, oh, you're not talking to the girl in a casual way. So I didn't realize that he asked the girl to pay, and I just took the money. See, that's my oversight.
I understand. Do the commissioners have questions?
Detective, or Sheriff, I'm sorry.
Sounds good.
Yeah, remember? Yeah, did I tell you?
But no, ma'am, you have to allow us.
I said, you set me up, right? I did that, right?
You should stop talking.
I'm sorry.
Can you, the allegations that the licensee is making, can you respond to that? In particular, did you go, a couple questions I have. Did you go up to the counter with the cadet? Who actually gave the licensee the money? Can you respond to that, please?
My pleasure. So we went in together because the area is pretty predominant and a high crime area. So I did not want her to go by herself. And we had conversations as to what drink we were going to purchase. She picked up the drinks and she had the money. She went to the cashier, who is the person talking right now, and she made a transaction with the cashier. And she provided the money, and then during that time, I never exchanged any words with the cashier. I was only and always the cadet. So during the very beginning, we might have a conversation, the two of us, but the transaction and the money exchange was done solely and completely on a cadet who's a minor.
Thank you.
Sure.
I have a question. Who carried the product to the counter?
The cadet.
The cadet.
What was the conversation you had with the cadet inside the store?
No, nothing. It's just that. Sorry,
She's asking
No,
the deputy.
what was the conversation?
Well, we always talk about different things because it is, by all intents and purposes, an undercover operation. So therefore, we are talking about whatever we talked about.
You don't remember what you're talking about?
But there is not a specific script that we follow.
But did you instruct the cadet inside the store, go get this, go get that?
Of course.
You told her what to get?
We were doing an undercover operation.
I understand.
So therefore, we came in together as friends. At the end of the day, she's the one that picked up the alcohol beverages and brought it to the counter, and she's the one that had the money exchange. And at the point, no one has asked for identification or verification that she was an adult or over 21.
All right. All right, that's all we have. Judge, I told you.
Can I ask one question of your client?
Yeah, sure.
Is your store that one that has the plexiglass divider between the customer and yourself?
This close, yeah.
Is there a screen between
Yeah,
yourself?
yeah.
So how did you know what she was purchasing?
Oh,
Did she
it's
have to lift? Did she have to lift it up and show it
No,
to you?
just this is like a counter.
Yeah.
I'm just behind, and then it's about 3 feet or 4 feet. We had the cooler, and they just grab and then put it on my counter.
So she grabbed it and she actually placed it on your counter.
Yeah. And
So
because that guy
well, I'd
instructed-
not hold just listen and then talk. So she had the product in her hand and she placed it on the counter to show what she was buying, and then you told her the amount, right? And then she handed you the money, and you accepted the money. And then was there change?
Yeah.
And so you gave her the change, and then did you give her a bag to put the
Yeah, I
product?
put everything up.
You put a bag through, and then she put it in the bag and walked out. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
thank
they
you.
didn't even walk out yet. Then he showed me that I'm telling them mine. This
Ah,
guy
okay.
showed me his ID. And
Okay.
because they were talking, you see, oh, I like but I 6-pack and then all that, you see. So in the end, he just instructed the young girl to pay. So as I say, it's an oversight. I was thinking all the time, it's him buying, not the younger buying.
Yeah. Okay, I understand. Did you want to add anything to the
if I-
description of what happened?
Well, not specifically in the description, is that exactly the way you explain it is the way it happened. But it's important for me to point out, as a representative of the Baltimore City Sheriff's Office working on a task force with the liquor board, we have the utmost respect for the business owner and the business community, even though we're doing these operations. So at the time of the transaction, when the transaction happened, we showed tremendous respect, and we never once belittled her or disrespected her in any other ways whatsoever. We explained exactly what we were doing. Each of us had badge hanging out from our necks. We identify ourselves as to who we were. I told her I was a surgeon, I was in charge of the detail, and I told her that everything that we do reflects the Baltimore City Sheriff's Office and the legal board. So therefore, she knew exactly by the time we left what we were doing. And she was kind of confused as to the process, and I tried to explain to her every step of the way.
Okay, and do you agree with that?
He just showed me a badge. He said, you're selling to a minor. And I didn't actually see the badge. It was
And
like
you've been here
registered.
before, so you've been here before because you
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
protest of renewal with this
Yeah, that
with
was
this
from
board.
the neighbor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, those are all the questions I have.
Anything further? Okay.
No, just very brief. I told you it's a little unusual situation. Normally you have a situation where there's just a cadet going in, making a purchase. In this situation, she looked at this situation like they were together as a unit. She was selling, in her mind, she was selling to the adult.
She told us that about 4 times.
I know. It's almost like an agency defense. Like the young lady is the agent of the
I understand what she's telling us.
The adult, and the adult's standing right there with her in very close proximity. They acknowledge that they came in this door. When you heard the police report, it sounded like, oh, this girl's by herself. It's not by herself at all. And she was very, very upset about the thing. And she said, I've been set up. She just wasn't thinking that could possibly be in the realm of possibility that this would happen to her. But it did. And we've had a long talk about it. And I said, never ever take any money from an individual, but I who is underage, and she said, no, I'm changing how I operate. I'd ask you to give them the benefit of the doubt in this case, because the parties are linked together, and in her mind, she did not commit an offense, but I'll leave it to you to feel it, whether or not the offense was committed.
Okay. Anything further? Thank you. I appreciate that. I agree with Ms. Wang that she may have been somewhat confused and taken by surprise. I disagree with her that she was set up. I think this was done according to the protocols. So based on the evidence presented, I would find a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors on October 20, 2016. My records indicate that other than the protest, there have been no prior violations by this licensee. Chalking this one up to human error and hoping that they don't come back again, I would impose a fine of just $250 and give her 30 days to pay it.
All right, thank you.
But it's up to the other commissioners.
So I agree. This is obviously was done within the protocol. I just wanted to say, I think the fact that you have a young person who's standing there with an older person, and it's the younger person paying, it's even more reason why you would require an ID, just to be very clear that the person to whom with whom you're transacting is of age. And so you've got to do that in the future. And I agree with the imposition of the fine and the 30 days to pay.
Thank you.
I would concur with my colleagues and add that I actually think the sheriff looks like he might be under 21 too. So I would have likely carded him as well.
40.
Yeah, well, but really the benefit of the doubt. I understand the confusion, but I would always err on the side of making sure whoever comes gets ID'd.
Thank you. Good luck.
I would say, Mr. Chairman, there was a mistake made on your cupcakes. That should have been 5-0, not a 7-0.
Well, we may reduce the fine if you had to pay it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and I just wanted to mention if you could just step over to your left, for the afternoon docket, tomorrow is the chairman's birthday.
Oh, that's
so we surprised him with cupcakes. When you come up, you'll see that they say 70. But we got enough. It's a mistake.
It's actually 7.
Yeah, if you read it a certain way, it could be 007. But anyway, we got cupcakes for everybody that's here today. We think there's enough. You can get a cupcake now, or you can get one on your way out. Just want to make it a joint celebration.
Thank
All
you
right,
very
thank
much.
you.
So, do we have exhibits to call?
Yes, we do have exhibits to call. Which one are they? You want to call?
I'd like to call the exhibits for the record at this time. Board Exhibit 1, Baltimore City Sheriff's Department Report, Deputy Perez. Exhibit number 2, Photos. Exhibit number 3, Inspector John Chrisomalis, Investigation Report. Thank you.
Call the next case. Mario Vaccaro, Gilmore Pleasure Club, LLC, trading as Gilmore Pleasure Club, 347 South Gilmore Street. There's a Class BD7 beer wine liquor license, a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Peter Previs on behalf of Mr. Vaccaro, who is to my right.
Good afternoon. Is this going to be an admission or a contested case?
We cannot admit to the violation of 3.03C under the circumstances. I guess I'll just deny as to all 3 allegations.
Okay. Would you raise your right hand, sir, please? And anyone who's going to testify for the commission, please raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
I do. Okay. And are you Mr. Vaccaro, sir?
Pardon?
Are you Mr. Vaccaro?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Two things. One is Mr. Vaccaro's hard of hearing.
I'll try to speak up, okay?
He's not being impolite.
No,
he's
it's
hard.
fine.
The second thing, I just want to note in the board summary, it indicates a prior on June 2nd, 2016. That's actually October 2nd, 2014.
And was he the licensee then?
He was.
Okay.
He may have been the personal rep of his sister's estate, but he was in operational control at that point.
Okay. Inspector?
Good afternoon. Inspector Chris Miles, Baltimore City Liquor Board. On or about October 20th, 2016, at approximately 7:53 p.m., I, Inspector Chris Miles and Agent Martin, while on duty working with the Baltimore City Sheriff's Office, during our joint underage task force, went to 347 South Gilmore Street in the city of Baltimore, state of Maryland. We arrived at the location. Ms. Lopez, who is under the age of 21, while working with the Baltimore City Sheriff's Office, entered the location and bought 2 40-ounce Bud Ice totaling $7. She was served by a white female that did not have any identification. Baltimore City Sheriff's Office was able to identify her through their system as one Shannon M. Moore with a Maryland ID number and date of birth of. We explained to the bartender that she had served a minor and that she was in violation. There was no employee records on site to identify the server since she did not have ID, and she was made aware of the establishment would be violated for that also. Inspectors conducted a compliance check, at which time Agent Martin notified me about unsatisfactory bathroom conditions. Once the compliance was complete, the inspectors explained to the server that the establishment was being violated for the following: not serving a person under 21 years of age, not having employee records, and unsatisfactory bathrooms. Members of the task force left the establishment without any further incident.
Mr. Previous, you have questions for the inspector?
Thank you. Inspector Chris O'Malley.
Can you give me 1 second, please? I want to make a correction on my statement. We were working with 2 cadets that day, and it was Cadet Cox, not Cadet Lopez.
Okay.
Thank
Mr. Previous.
Inspector Chris O'Malley, did you go into the establishment with the cadet when the alleged purchase was made?
I did not. Myself and Agent Martin were outside of the establishment.
Thank you. Did you confirm the compliance check with regard to the bathroom and the records?
I did. We both went through the bathrooms after Agent Martin identified the issues.
Okay. And with regard to and you indicated that there was no toilet paper and there were flies. And
That's correct.
There was a photograph of some fly paper in the bathroom?
Correct, and some broken towels that Agent Martin took pictures of.
Okay. Now, with regard to the request for records, you indicated that there was a female working behind the bar?
That's correct.
Okay, and you're familiar with the Gilmore Pleasure Club from prior experience?
I've been there maybe once or twice before.
Okay, and there's a photograph of the employee on her cell phone. Do you recall that?
I do not.
Okay, did you ever speak with Mr. Vaccaro that evening?
I did not. She said that she was attempting to notify him a couple times while we were there, but she said she could not make contact.
Okay, but did it appear as if she was actively attempting to notify Mr. Vaccaro, or was she?
I did notice that she was acting very suspicious. I would, in my opinion, I don't think she was attempting to contact him.
Okay, and she did not have access to the employee records?
No, I asked her twice, and Agent Martin asked her at least once.
Okay, do you know if you know from prior experience that Mr. Vaccaro lives upstairs?
I do not.
Okay, no, thank you, no further questions.
Is there anyone else who wishes to testify? Apparently not. So, you wish to put on evidence?
Sure. Well, first, I'd like to make a motion to dismiss as to the purchase to the minor. There's no evidence of the age or of the incident. Mr. Inspector Chris O'Malley indicated that he came in afterwards.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were asking questions. I apologize.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Mr. Previs.
Sorry.
Okay. The cadet is not going to testify, so there's no evidence of her age or the circumstances of the alleged purchase. So
Well, the report indicated the age.
It said under 21. It didn't say what her age was.
Do you have to have a specific age in order to prove that you've made a sale to a minor if the person's under 21?
I would think you need some evidence to show that this person is under 21. It's also, in light of Mr. Maslin's case, what are the circumstances of what is alleged to have occurred?
Doesn't seem very complicated, but in any event, go ahead.
Okay.
Anything further on that?
Is the cadet here?
Mr. Chairman, may I
Yes.
approach, please? I'd like to speak on behalf of the cadet and also the Baltimore City Sheriff's Office that conducts background when we hire cadets, and I can attest and testify to the fact that the cadet is under 21.
And what is her age? What is her date of birth?
But the date of birth is concealed because of her.
Then I move to dismiss if I don't know the date of birth. You're asking the board to accept your conclusion. What are the facts? What is her date of birth?
Becoming very argumentative, I'd like to approach the board
I
by
don't think
explaining.
that there's anything in the statutes that says that if someone is that there's testimony and evidence that someone's under 21, that we can't accept that. I mean, what's
I don't know why the board would accept it.
Well-
They provided a conclusion.
No, I think it's a fact. I mean, did you verify that the cadet was under 21?
Yes, sir. And in fairness, if I may, Mr. Chairman, I went in with the cadet, and it was a similar situation as the prior, where the cadet picked up the alcohol beverages. The cadet had the money exchange with the cashier. The cadet was never asked to provide identification, and the cashier, the server, did not have her identification that night. So all the procedure that was conducted that night was pretty standard. That's what we do. And the reason why we don't provide the date of births of the cadets is to conceal their identity as best we can for their safety.
It's your position that they have to prove her date of birth in order to prevail on the rule. Is that correct? That's
Yes,
your
Your Honor.
motion? Okay,
Yes.
I'm going to deny the motion. So what else do you have?
Okay. Sheriff Poma, you said you entered with the cadet?
Yes.
And did you have any conversation with the person behind the bar?
No conversation.
Okay.
Explain
You said it was just like the case prior to this?
Explain what you mean by conversation.
One person speaks and the other person speaks back?
I'm not understanding what you're saying, sir.
Okay, well, let me ask another question then. Did you walk in with the cadet?
The cadet and I were together. Whether or not I walked in with her, I don't recall specifically if I did walk in with her or not. But we were together at the point of the purchase.
Okay, so you were standing side by side with the cadet as you were at the bar?
Well, when you say side by side, I was with the cadet. I can't testify as to where exactly I was standing, where to the left or to the right, I was with the cadet at the time, and I saw the exchange.
Okay, who did you order the alcoholic beverage?
I did not.
Who ordered the alcoholic beverage?
As I stated before, the cadet picked up, as per the report states, the two bottle of beers, if I recall correctly. I have to refer to my report to tell you exactly what she picked up.
Okay, but you didn't order the 2 bottles of beer? The cadet ordered the 2 bottles of beer? Is that your testimony?
What do you mean when you say order?
Holy cow. Ma'am, may I purchase 2 40-ounce bottles of whatever beer? That's what I mean by that.
Who would say that? Me?
I'm asking you. Did you say it or did the cadet say it?
The cadet. The cadet picked up the bottle of beers and.
Who asked for it?
I don't understand the line of questioning. Like I said, I don't recall exactly the conversation that went on. The cadet picked up 2 bottles of beers, brought it to the counter, and engaged a cashier. The cadet was never asked the ID. The cadet then went on with the money exchange. The cadet was given a rest of the money, and there was a purchase.
Okay.
Which
so
I observed.
Maybe I was misunderstanding you. Where were the bottles of beer? How did the cadet come in? into possession with the bottles of beer, is there a cooler that the person picks them out of, or
You mean
are they
physically?
ordered physically?
Yeah, well, she opened a refrigerator area where the alcohol beverages are located.
The cadet did.
The cadet did, yes.
So they're outside from behind the bar.
They are, when you walk in, I recall being probably on the right. It's a refrigerator area with all types of alcoholic beverages all mixed together.
Thank you. And that clears up my misunderstanding of what you were telling me. I have no further questions.
I'm glad it does.
Anything else?
No, I had want Mr. Vaccaro to explain a little bit about the situation, but nothing further.
Do you wish to present any evidence?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Mr. Vaccaro, you've been sworn. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, speak into the mic. All right. Were you made aware that this incident happened on the night that it happened?
No.
When did you find out about it?
Day after Thanksgiving.
And so it was over a month later?
Yeah.
Okay, and what did you do when you found out about it?
I hit the roof.
And what about with your employee?
I got rid of her.
Okay. And now, with regard to employee records,
I have employee records, but they wouldn't be in the bar.
Okay, but you live upstairs?
Yeah.
And nobody contacted you?
Nobody told me anything. I didn't know about it until then.
And you were there that evening?
Yep.
As far as you know?
I don't go anywhere.
Okay. Thank you. I have no further questions.
The commissioners have questions?
What's your understanding of the law regarding?
Pardon?
What is your understanding of the law regarding maintaining employee records?
I have records upstairs. I mean, I have files on anybody that's ever worked for me.
Is it your understanding that the records are supposed to be anywhere you decide them to be, or are they?
No, I never had a clue you had to keep them in a bar. I wouldn't expect any kind of employee to have records of anybody else.
No, you're the owner, right?
Yeah.
So we would expect you to have the records.
Yeah,
Let's
me.
start there. You would agree with that? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, my question is, do you believe you can have your records anywhere, or do you believe that the law requires you to have the records on site? Or
I
you
thought
don't
I
know?
had to have them, with my, office supply stuff, I mean, I don't keep everything in the bar. I mean, I don't keep every application I've ever filed for. I have every application that I've ever filed for the liquor board, sales tax from past years. But I don't keep any of that in the bar.
But you understand that employee records are different and that they're
I
required to
didn't
be
know
kept on
other
site.
employees are allowed to see other employees' records.
Well, we're not
I don't
saying-
think that's anywhere you can find that.
Well, I'm not saying that other employees are supposed to see the records, but I am suggesting that employee records are supposed to be maintained on site so that when people like the sheriff's department and the liquor board come in,
I would've
they
never
are
thought-
available.
Oh,
All right?
pardon?
Do you understand that now, that they're
I
supposed to be on
understand
site?
what you're saying.
I'm not just saying, do you understand the law?
I didn't know it was a law, to be honest.
But do you
with until
understand that
just
now? Okay. All right,
I didn't know I had to keep them in the bar.
okay. Can you tell us what you do to train your employees to how to avoid selling to minors?
I tell them to card everybody. If you don't know them, card them. If you don't know that person comes in there on a regular basis. I mean, I'm in a little neighborhood bar. So it's not like we have, people from riding up Route 40, everybody in the world stopping in. We got the regular clientele. We have a walk-in clientele for the most part, and where I'm at. And, everybody comes in that bar. You have regulars.
And
it's not like, you're going to have that many outsiders. And if any outsider comes in, they should all be carded. Anybody that's young got to be carded. I mean, I have a rule that you have to have ID and above 21 to even to be in that bar.
the employee that was on duty that night, how long had she been working with you?
Well, Shannon was off and on, you know what I mean? Off and on here and there, She tried to start this, she tried to start that, I mean, she had only been there a couple months at that time. Been gone for a year,
Okay.
I mean, for the most part, Shannon was always a good person. Last couple of months, I don't know what got into her. And a little bit of everything got into her, So, some people lie better than others, so I don't know what to tell you. I'm very gullible when it comes. I'll trust anybody. I'll give anybody a chance. That's just my nature. I don't care what they look like. I don't care anything about that. I will give anybody a chance. If they're straight, I'm straight. But you don't know that until you get them in the door. You know, they tell you anything. They tell you, I don't do this, and I don't do that, and I don't do this. I've had bartenders come in there and get fired within the first hour. They don't drink until I walk in there and see a drink behind the bar. You don't drink? Where the hell did that come from? Excuse my language. You know what I mean?
This has been a very
Excuse my
colorful
language. I didn't
hearing
mean
so
to come out
far.
like that.
Yeah, okay, I understand. All right, thank you.
Mr. Vaccaro, I appreciate your passion because it tells me that you really are concerned.
Say it again.
I appreciate your passion on this issue.
Right.
Because it tells me you are concerned, because the facts to me don't indicate much engagement in this establishment. Let me tell you why. I won't, on the records issue, I recognize you don't understand it, or you did not know it, but the rule says it has to be in the licensed premises. Okay, so now you know going forward. Okay, all right? So, Mr. Vaccaro, where do you live?
Right above the bar.
Okay, so here's my problem. My problem is that you had a joint task force come into your bar at 7:53. Now, your testimony said you don't go anywhere. Now, you may have been out. I don't know.
I mean, I could have been.
You could have been, you may not have. But if you were in, chances are you might have seen some activity just below. Maybe, maybe not, okay? But then you have Shannon, I don't recall her last name, who appeared, at least in our evidence, to try and call you.
Well,
So, and I don't know if, as Inspector Chris Amalis suggested, he didn't really believe she was trying to call you. I'm just, my issue is that you seem somewhat disengaged from the establishment if you didn't find out nearly 5 weeks after this event occurred.
well, did you ever think that she knew that if I found out, she'd get fired immediately?
Well, certainly that occurred to me. How many employees do you typically have on a shift?
How many employees do I have?
On a shift, on that night, you only had one employee.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a little tiny bar. It has 12 bar stools.
And Mr. Vaccaro, how often are you actually in the bar?
I'm in the bar every day. But I'm not there 24 hours a day. But I'm there every day. You have to walk through the bar to get upstairs. So most liquor board inspectors that have been in my establishment, including him, I'm always around. You know, I'm always somewhere.
Okay. Okay, I appreciate it. No further questions.
I mean, I had him come by on 4th of July,
I understand.
and I was there.
Anything else?
Just to wrap up, I just want to indicate to the board that Mr. Vaccaro, after he found out about this, he closed the premises, he cleaned it out, and Chief Inspector Foster could confirm that. He cleaned it out. He was, with regard to the flies and the whatever else, he took all the stock out of there. He remained closed for a few weeks, and he plans to open next week or
before
this
the end of next
weekend.
week,
Okay,
depending on this.
but he cleared it out. He let go Ms. Shannon, and he's current plans are he's going to work behind the bar and nobody else.
Okay.
I've always maintained I'm sorry.
Go ahead. That's fine.
Anything else?
No, sir.
All right. On the basis of the evidence presented this afternoon, I would find a violation of Rule 4.01A, sale to minors on October 20, 2016, a violation of Rule 3.09A on the restroom facilities and health regulations, also October 20, 2016, and finally a violation of Rule 3.03C, records on October 20, 2016. I'd impose a fine of $2,500 and give him 30 days to pay it.
I concur, and I just have to say I don't know how you can have fly paper but not toilet paper. It just defies logic that that's how this business was maintained. I agree with the finding of responsibility on all 3 counts, and I agree with the imposition of the fine and the 30 days to pay.
And I concur with my colleagues as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd call exhibit 500.
Sure.
Oh.
Board Exhibit Number 1, Baltimore City Sheriff Department Sergeant Puma Report. Board Exhibit Number 2, Photos. Board Exhibit Number 3, Investigation Report, John Christomalis. Board Exhibit Number 4, Email in Opposition, dated January 10th, 2017. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
You too, thanks.
Calling the next case, Robert Gorsuch, Joe Charles Incorporated, trading as Skeeters, 2506 Washington Boulevard. It's a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license, violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors.
Are you Mr. Gorsuch, sir?
No, sir.
Who are you?
Steven Saffron. I'm the manager.
Okay.
Saffron, Saffran.
Can you raise your right hand, please?
Sure.
And those who are testifying for the commission?
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Scaffin, did you say?
Saffron.
Saffron?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Mr. Saffron, are you going to admit that this occurred, or are you going to deny it?
Well, what happened, I'm not sure. The bartender walked out on me that night and brought the sheet that the liquor board gave him 2 weeks later. I had no clue for 2 weeks.
Okay, so you're not denying that it happened, you just didn't know about it for 2 weeks?
Right.
Okay. Well, do you want us to present evidence of it, or in order to prove the case, or will you admit that it happened?
I admitted that it happened.
Okay. So you can tell us whatever you would like other than what you've just told me. So you say the bartender, he quit?
He quit that same night, just walked out. And I didn't see him I called, never heard nothing from him. 2 weeks later, he dropped off the paperwork that the liquor board gave him and to my other employee, and that was it.
So when he left, who was taking care of the bar?
Well, I had another barmaid there.
Okay. And did that person just stay on for the next 2 weeks?
Yes.
Okay. And other than you, who else runs this establishment?
My dad.
And what is his name?
Same name, Senior.
Okay. And how often are you there?
I'm there every day.
But you weren't there at the time?
No, not at that time.
Was your father there at the time?
No.
Okay. And so it was in the hands of these bartenders?
Yes.
And how large an establishment is Skeeters?
It's only a little bar. It's about 10 bar stools. Not big at all.
Okay. Okay. Commissioners have questions?
Who is Robert Gorsuch?
That's the owner. I'm actually in the process of purchasing from him.
And how are you doing that?
I put in the application already with the liquor board. I'm going through inspections right now.
Okay. How often is Mr. Gorsuch at the location?
Maybe once a week, not often.
Do you have an operating agreement with Mr.
Yes.
Gorsuch? And is that between Mr. Gorsuch and your father?
Yes.
And is that something that's been registered with the liquor board?
The liquor board knows. The lady, I don't remember the inspector's name, came out, and I talked to her before, and she said she has everything. The lawyer submitted everything to the liquor board.
Do you know who the attorneys are who represent Skeeters?
Well, the lawyers representing me to purchase it is David Cohen.
But how about the Skeeters itself? Does it have attorneys?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
So I feel like a little bit like you've been set up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're dropped off with this information, and the other barmaid or bartender who was left holding the bag when the one who got the violation never called you
Never
either.
called me.
No one didn't call Mr. Gorsuch, and I'm a little bit disappointed that Mr. Gorsuch seems so hands-off on this and doesn't have the courtesy to show up. He still owns this establishment, and you're here left holding the bag. As I said, I appreciate your admission, given the fact that you weren't there and only found out about this 2 weeks later. So I don't, Mr. Chairman, have really any questions, just a comment.
I don't have any more questions, but I do have concerns about who's running the show here. It's not you,
Well,
and it's not your father, and it's not Mr. Gorsuch. So who's driving this car?
Well, I am now. I'm there every day, constantly. I got rid of the two barmaids. Well, like the one walked out, so I didn't have him no more. And the girl I let go also. So I'm there every day. And I have one other employee. It's just me and her all day.
But you're not the licensee, is
But
the
you're not
issue.
the
So we're not
licensee.
blaming, we're not blaming you. It's just, as I said, you're left holding the bag.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I've said before that firing employees for a mistake isn't the answer. The answer is that people be trained and be made to follow their training. And I have a bias in favor of people working, and that business owners and operators do everything they can to educate their employees. And I'm not hearing anything that suggests that that was done. And I think that this is a case that raises other questions that have to be dealt with within the administrative offices of the liquor board. I don't know whether or not there's actually an application to transfer or not, and that doesn't avoid, the decisions that have to be made today, but there needs to be a general cleaning up of operations here.
Yes, and I did. The guy left. I have no contact with him at all, and I'm there constantly, every day, doing everything. The liquor license is actually going in my name, so I'm there constantly. I leave to pick up my kids from school, and that's it.
Okay. Well, you speak with a great amount of credibility, and I can tell that you're concerned.
Yes.
And I appreciate that. We still have to deal with the administrative parts of this this is how oftentimes things come to light.
Right.
There's a violation, and then it leads to other issues. So that's all my comments.
Anything further?
No, sir.
Okay. On the basis of the evidence presented to the commission this afternoon, I would find a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors, on October 20, 2016. That's based on your admission that occurred. I appreciate your testimony and note that there are no history of violations at this establishment. I would impose a fine of $500 and give the licensee 30 days to pay it.
I agree with the finding. I think that earlier case you imposed a fine of $250.
I did the different here because while I think Mr. Safran's very credible, I don't know why Mr. Gorsuch isn't here to take responsibility, and that's why I increased it.
Okay, I understand, and I will, in that case, join in the imposition of a $500 fine.
I agree as well, and I would just underscore this by saying that this $500 fine and violation is on Mr. Gorsuch's watch and not yours,
Yes, sir.
because you're not the licensee, despite all your efforts.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Might be exhibits.
Oh, exhibits, yeah. She's doing three things at the same time.
I'd like to call the exhibits for the record this time.
Hold on.
What is Exhibit 1, Deputy Perez report. Exhibit number 2, photos. Exhibit number 3, investigation report from John Chrisomalis. Thank you.
Can you follow up on this one, on the administrative issues? Thank you.
Not a problem. Call the next case, George Marshall and Brenda Marshall, Marshalls Incorporated, trading as Marshall's Bar, 2351 Washington Boulevard. There's a Class BD7 beer wine liquor license, violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors.
You, sir, are?
George Marshall.
Okay. Mr. Marshall, have you or your wife ever been represented by White Taylor and Preston?
I don't know. It's not my wife. That's my stepmother.
Oh, stepmother. Well, have you ever been?
No, sir.
Okay. Would you raise your right hand, please?
Yes, sir.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. You're charged with a violation of Rule 4.01A, sale to minors, on October 20, 2016. Do you wish to admit or deny the allegation?
I would admit it.
Okay. What would you like to tell us about?
That particular night of the violation, it was our first night of pool league. I'm usually there all the time.
Sorry, first night of what?
Pool league.
What's that?
It's that bar league for pool. And I had a girl.
Okay.
I had a girl filling in that night. It was her first night, and she particularly was a manager at the Buffalo Wild Wings, where they card everybody. I had her watching the bar while I was shooting pool in my match. By the time I had turned around, I saw the sheriff's department in there with the camera and the chains, and I knew what that meant. I knew that she had served someone a minor, and from what I understood was a couple had come in, ordered a Coke and a Budweiser, I believe it was, and she served them. She served the minor when I saw the girl who she served, I couldn't believe it. I mean, there was no way she should not have carded this girl. In my opinion, it absolutely should have been carded.
Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
So what procedures do you have in place going forward?
Well, it's a small bar. It's a family-run business. If I'm not working, it's my aunt or one of my nieces. We all have gone through alcohol awareness courses, and my assumption was, which is not a good thing to do, but the manager at Buffalo Wild Wings, where they card everybody, I let her watch the bar. My mistake.
Okay. Mr. Marshall, you had a alcoholic beverage sale without a valid license back in 2013, and also that year a sale to minor. Is that correct?
Yes. The license was paid for. I just hadn't got to the downtown to pick it up that day because I was working, and in that short period, I think it was Agent Fitzgerald had gone in there and pulled my license down off of the wall, and I got a call at work. But I was planning on picking it up that day. It was the very day that they were issued.
And were you involved in the sale to minor incident in February of that year?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Okay. Well, based on your admission and the evidence that's been presented in the record by the inspectors, I would find a violation of Rule 4.01A, sale to minors on October 20, 2016. I would impose a fine of $1,500 and give you 30 days to pay it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Well, I would agree. It's okay.
There are three of us.
Yeah, I concur.
I concur as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And give me 1 second, sir. I can meet you down here. That's okay. I'd like to call the exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, Baltimore City Sheriff's Department Deputy Perez Report. Exhibit number 2, photos. Exhibit number 3, investigation report, John Christomalis. Thank you.
Calling the next case, Surinder Singh, MP and AP Incorporated, trading as Joe's Tavern and Pizzeria, 2709 through 11 Washington Boulevard. There's a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. It's a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors, and violation of Rule 4.16, illegal conduct.
For the record, Melvin J. Kadensky, 19 East Fayette Street, representing the licensee.
Mr. Kadensky, we're going to have an admission or a contested case?
Since it's your birthday. Well, I will make an admission as to the sale to minors, the illegal conduct. I don't think the charge will be sustained, but I'll say this for a proffer is, at the time they came in, the charter looked like it was forfeited, but it was because of a tangible personal property tax. It's in good standing at this point. And I don't know whether that means an illegal activity, but I'll let the board make that decision.
Okay. Is he going to be testifying about that issue?
He has it on his phone. He'll show you it's in good standing now, and that's
But
all.
let's have him raise his right hand.
Raise your right hand there.
I swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, there's an admission as to the 4.01A on the issue of the forfeiture of the corporate license. Who's going to testify?
The corporate license?
Yes.
Not I.
That's a review that's done at the time of charging, and that's a review that I usually do at the time of charging. If you want me to...
Well, I guess you're going to have, since there's some contest about it, we have to swear you in.
Okay. Not a problem. Let me step around the other side.
Okay.
I got it.
I mean, I'm not sure how much of a contest we have. Are you saying that it was not in good status on December 28th, but it now is? Is that what your point is?
And that does meet the qualification of illegal conduct as according to the
So you just want to
statute.
make a legal argument?
Yeah.
So you're not denying the fact that on December 28th it was forfeited?
It was-
Okay, so we don't need you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Not a problem.
Okay, so let's hear your legal argument.
Well, the legal argument is illegal conduct may not commit or allow commission on the licensed premises, which there was no commission on the licensed premises of any act that's contrary to federal, state, or local law or ordinance. because your charter is not in good standing, I don't think is an illegal conduct by itself. It means that for state purposes, civilly, you're not in good standing. That means you can't conduct business. In the meantime, once he found out about it, he went and filed the necessary papers. He has the shown it's in good standing, if you want to take a look at
But
it.
he has 2 prior violations for the same rule. What were they related to?
What happens is, I think, and I'm not, most of the time, when I file, a lot of them has to do with late filings on tangible personal property taxes. And that's what it looks like here was happening. There were late filings. When it goes past a certain point, it was unusual to see that it shows a forfeiture. It usually would say not in good standing. So I don't know how they got forfeited, because I have the printout of the from SDAT. So I don't think that's an illegal
But when's he gonna get it?
conduct, because you could still do business. Any act that you did on behalf of the corporation would still be a valid act.
When is he going to get his act together and get his papers filed on time?
If people did everything they're supposed to be, what a nice road,
He could hire his attorney to do it. That's what I'm suggesting. In any event, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know about the other commissioners, I'm not as concerned with that because it's been cured rather promptly, but I'd be willing to go with the sale to minor violation.
And an explanation, okay.
I don't know how the other commissioners feel.
I can agree with that, I guess.
Can I just have some, I haven't seen actual evidence other than, is that okay? Have you?
Yeah, sure. Let's see.
I mean, in this electronic world, we're going to put it on the screen back here.
That I can't do.
Tell us how to use it.
I just took that picture. I went to SDAT.
Okay.
And put my department ID.
Okay.
Actually, it was just I sent the check.
He believes you, and he believes that. In this particular case, with regard to minors, there was a employee that they were training at the time, and the fellow who was training them left them out there by themselves. They served the minor. The party's been terminated. He's instructed and had all the other individuals to have alcohol training, and it was in that few minutes that they were training the person that had happened. I would note, and you'll probably look at the record, they had a sale of the minor back in 2013.
Okay. Anything else?
I think he corrected that situation, but it happened.
Okay. On the basis of the evidence presented and the admission, I would find a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors on October 20, 2016. He's got what's growing into a significant record of violations. So I would impose a fine of $3,000 and give him 30 days to pay it.
I concur.
I agree, and also for the record, agree to dismiss the violation of Rule 4.1.
Could we ask from 60 days, because it's more than...
Please.
We can't go more than 30 days. I don't think that we can't go more than 30 days.
Do half and half.
No.
Could you please reduce the fine?
It's not just us that are making the decision. I think it's a open and well-known fact that the agency has been under audit, and there were certain audit findings that we're trying to cure, and one of them is that we do not or had not historically collected fines within 30 days. And I think we did it once and were cautioned against doing that again, and so we're not going to be able to go more than 30 days.
But you're not saying you can't, you're just taking it as a policy that you won't.
We certainly will not.
Okay.
We certainly will not.
Yeah, I'm afraid we can't.
Can I request to reduce the fine, please?
I can't hear you, sir.
Can I request if you can reduce it, please?
Uh-huh.
I mean,
No, you need to get your act together.
No, I'm getting together.
I'm not inclined. Thank you.
Mr. Singh, you're close to some of us voting to suspend, so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. I'd like to call exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, Deputy Perez report. Board Exhibit 2, photos. Board Exhibit 3, investigation report, John Christomalis. Thank you.
Next, calling Terry Kaufman, Olga Kaufman, and Barbara Manfred, 110 Water Street, Series 247 LLC, trading as Sopanos Steakhouse, 110 Water Street. This is a Class B beer, wine, and liquor license. It's a This is a violation of Rule 4.16 General Welfare and a violation of Rule 4.01A Sales to Minors.
Sir, you are?
Terry Kaufman.
Please raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Kaufman, you've been charged with a violation of general welfare, also sale to minors, both in October of this past year. Are you going to admit those or contest those?
No, we did exactly what they said we did.
So you'll admit them?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to tell us about any extenuating circumstances?
No extenuating circumstances, Your Honor.
Just falling on your sword.
Just, it is what it is.
It's refreshing. The dog didn't eat your homework.
We're a steakhouse, and we're supposed to card anybody under 35 employed. Neglected to do that.
But apparently, you've got people leaving with alcohol too. So, are you doing anything about trying to get this under
Yes.
control?
Yeah, we have an outdoor patio, and in the past we've let people go to the outdoor patio, but then sometimes they want to wander off. So now we have posted signs, no alcohol beyond that patio. If you want to be served on that patio or drink on that patio, you purchase on that patio by a server, and they explain to you that you can't leave that patio. We have 18 employees. Prior to this, only 4 employees were alcohol aware. Now all 18 employees, 16 out of 18 employees are now alcohol aware. The 17th employee went to the class, was not feeling well that day and didn't pass the test, and the other employee was at the doctor's office.
Was it before he didn't pass that he didn't feel well, or after he didn't pass? He wasn't feeling well.
She wasn't on her best day, but
that's all right.
But anyway, 16 out of 18, and the other 2 are going to do that shortly.
And has Mr. Kaufman generally been cooperative?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, Your Honor, we're doing everything that we can to do this.
I appreciate your honesty. You have no history of violations. There's 2 here, so I would find violations of 4.16 general welfare on October 14, 2016, and also violation of Rule 4.01A sale to minors on October 20, 2016, and I impose a fine of $500 and give you 30 days.
Thank you.
I concur.
Thank you.
I do as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Be with you in 1 second, Mr. Kaufman. I call the exhibits for the record this time. Board Exhibit 1, Investigation Report, Chief Inspector Mark Fossler. Board Exhibit 2, Sheriff's Department Report, Deputy Perez. Board Exhibit 3, Photos. Board Exhibit 4, Investigation Report, Inspector John Christomalis. Thank you.
Next, calling Priscilla Irisari and Blanca Pesquera, Ecstasy Bar and Restaurant, LLC, trading as My Cousin's Place, 3925 through 27 East Lombard Street. This is a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. It's a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors.
For the record, Melvin J. Kudensky, 19 East Fayette Street, representing the licensees.
Mr. Kudensky, will these be an admission or a contested case?
That group down there will do an admission.
Okay. What would your clients like? Are they going to testify, sir?
What I have is basically, we're within a month or so of being open when this happened. And quite frankly, the person who did the service is here. She had been there working about a week. After this happened, she left. And as a consequence thereof, I had, and through not myself, but the licensee went and had 12 to 15 of their people certified by Mr. Phil. How many? 17, I'm sorry. Certified through Mr. Philippides. He had sent me an email saying that they had come and had all their people certified. I explained to them that this is not good for somebody who had just been in business having the license transferred to them October 7th and happened the same month. This is their first violation of 4.01.
Were they here just in December?
They were here for something else. That was general welfare had to do with the security person, and it's up on appeal.
Okay. Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
Not so much a question, but a comment. What are you all going to do to stay out of trouble? 'Cause you've got 2 violations. I think you just got the license October 7, 2016, and you've been here twice. So I'd like to hear something that tells us that they're going to get on track and stay out of trouble.
Well, I think from the point of view is when they have 17 people, certified for alcohol awareness, and I mentioned to him they have to check almost everybody that comes in, no matter who they are, being new to business or not, and you can see that otherwise, that they see the cases that you have just done. In fact, the one before you, not this one before, where you get fined $3,000 and coming close to being suspended, is something that they have to make sure they follow along and check everybody that comes in. And, if I come there or the birthday boy comes in, whatever it is, you check them and you ask them for their cards. There's some places that check everybody, regardless. You go to High Tops on New York Road, they check me, everybody, and people get offended by it. They're saying, I should look, oh, no, that's the rule, and they have to start getting into that rule because they've only been in business a little bit.
At the rate you're going, we'll expect you back here in 2 months, at which point, I mean, the penalties are they're gonna get harsher and harsher. So I need to hear from one of them, with all due respect to you, Mr. Kadensky, what is your plan to stay out of trouble?
They haven't been sworn.
Oh, they haven't been sworn?
No.
Oh, okay.
Raise your right hands, please. Whoever's going to talk, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And give you your name and address and tell the commissioner what the plan is. Give your address.
Ecstasy Bar, located at 3925-27 East Lombard Street. We have
Your name, ma'am.
Priscilla Rizari. We have took a course. 17 of us have taken the alcohol awareness course, and we're doing meetings more frequently to eliminate any problems in the future.
What is the age of the people, you've got 17 employees, what are their ages?
Over 21.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't really have a question other than I'm not feeling a tremendous amount of confidence here about the plan. I mean, clearly, I appreciate the fact that you've had 17 people go through this certification process, but, are there big signs near the cash register, near the bar that says, do not serve anyone, card everyone? I mean, I again, echo Commissioner Moore's point, the path you're going on is not a pleasant one, and we don't want to see you again. So hopefully we won't.
Okay.
Anything further?
What kind of restaurant is this? What type of food is served?
It's Mexican, Honduran, Salvadorian, Puerto Rican, Mexican.
It's just a restaurant?
Yes.
And a bar?
Yes.
What are the hours?
From 12 to 2 in the morning.
12 p.m., like noon, like
Yes.
lunchtime, until 2 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay.
And how often are you there? I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. How often are you there?
Every day.
Okay.
What hours are you there?
I'm there from 6 to 2 because I work in the morning from 10 to 5:30.
Okay.
But my husband's there every day.
Is he there?
He's on the restaurant portion.
Okay. And what about the other people with you?
She runs the bar.
And what is her name?
Blanca.
Blanca. And what are Blanca's hours?
¿Cuál es el horario tuyo? From 12 to 1:30.
From noon to 1:30 p.m.?
Yes.
1:30
a.m.
A.m. Okay. Okay.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Kaminsky? On the basis of the evidence presented, the admission of the violation and testimony that we've heard today, I find a violation of Rule 4.01A, sale to minors on October 28, 2016. I'd impose a fine of $1,000 and give them 30 days.
I'll concur with that. Can I just say, I don't think you guys take this seriously.
I take it.
I
very
really
serious.
don't think you take it seriously, and we should probably just schedule a date now for them to come back in 2 months. I mean, really, I need you to understand, you could be fined $3,000 today, and he's only imposing $1,000, and I'm going to agree with it, so that's what it's going to be. You could be closed, and he's not closing you, and it's his birthday, so I'm agreeing. But if you come, it's not today, it's tomorrow. If you come back, you will be facing both a very high fine and closing.
Thank you.
Do you understand that?
I understand.
Do you feel it? Do you feel the risk of this?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I concur with the other commissioners.
Okay, good luck. Thank you.
I'd like to call exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, Sheriff's Department Report, Deputy Perez. Board Exhibit 2, Photos. Board Exhibit 3, Investigation Report, John Christomalis. Thank you.
Calling the next case, Stanley Ponatowski, trading as Mary's Tavern, 2057 Gulf Street. This is a Class D Beer, Wine, and Liquor License, violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors.
Good afternoon, sir. Are you Mr. Poniatowski? Would you raise your right hand, please?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Do you wish to admit or deny that there was a sale to minors on October 28, 2016?
I admit to the sale of minors. However, I brought some letters I'd like for you to look at. I just want to prove that I do try to card everyone. When they came in, they said they were feeling bad. I was worried about them being sick. But I'm not using that as an excuse. I just want you to know, I just want you to look at this to see that I do try to card them.
I'm going to give this to Ms. Russell in a minute, but just for the record, I've got a letter from Donald Hall, Division and Director of Quality Assurance, Alcohol and Drug Abuse, DHMH, and from Wayne Kempsky, Deputy Director, also at DHMH, talking about a survey, randomly selected places. Well, this is for compliance with cigarette sales. Generally, right? Is that correct? Not selling them to minors, is that correct?
Yeah, the two letters. They sent me letters, said that they applauded me for not doing it.
Okay, I appreciate, I mean, I agree, that's what those letters seem to indicate. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us? What happened on this event?
But this event, when the two people came in, the one girl ordered a Bud Light. She was the one that was underage. The gentleman that was with her was rubbing his head. He said he had a bad stomach. He said, just give me a ginger ale. I thought he was sick, and I didn't, it was my fault, really.
Okay. The commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
Okay. Sir, you don't have any history of these. I'm going to fine you $250 and give you 30 days to pay it.
Can I pay it today?
Sure.
In that case, make it 500.
I'm sorry?
So in that case, make it 500.
No, I'm joking.
And I'm joking.
We're teasing. It's $250. Thank you. Plus, it's a $125 administrative fee.
I concur. I agree.
I concur, and thank you for admitting and the
did,
letters. Thank you.
And for the good record, thank you
Yeah.
for the letters. Are these letters that we can keep, or do you need to have these back? Are these your originals?
What's that on?
Are
You
these
want to keep these letters?
I want to keep them, yeah.
Okay.
So
We're not
we'll,
gonna sue. Okay.
Thank you.
Are we gonna?
Unless you need them.
No, you can have them back. That's fine.
we won't use them as exhibits. We'll just hand them back and say congratulations for these.
Yes.
The record that it
It's
suggests.
probably wise that you hold on to those.
Those are good records.
Are we done?
You're done. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Right down, have it within 2 seconds. I'd like to call the exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, Baltimore City Sheriff's Department Report, Deputy Perez. Exhibit number 2, Photos. Exhibit number 3, investigation report, Inspector John Chrisomalis. Thank you. Okay. I'll give you 2 seconds.
Calling the next case, Cindy Johnson, Butts and Betty's Tavern Incorporated, trading as Butts and Betty's Tavern, 2200 Gulf Street. This is a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors.
Are you Ms. Johnson?
Yes, sir, I am.
Have you ever been represented by Whiteford, Taylor, and Preston? Okay. I do this computer conflict check, names pop up, and I just have to ask,
My
okay?
husband's with Oberkaler.
Not anymore.
Baker Donaldson now. As of January the 1st, he's with Baker
Correct.
Donaldson.
Okay.
But he couldn't represent me today.
Okay. Would you ladies raise your right hands, please?
You swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Now, you're charged with a sale to minor on October 28th of last year. Do you admit or deny that?
I admit it.
Okay. Tell us what happened.
Well, if you would like, Mr. Chairman.
You may. That's fine.
This is Jessica Thompson. She was my bartender at the time.
Ms. Thompson, tell us what happened.
I was there at the time.
Speak up, please.
It was a couple that came in, a younger woman and an older gentleman. The woman, which was the cadet, she ordered a Corona and he ordered a Coors Light. They proceeded conversation with me, and I think it just threw me off a little bit. He stated it was his birthday. He showed me.
Be careful of people who tell you that it's their birthday.
We're the same sign. I just had my birthday.
It was just an honest mistake, and I clearly learned my lesson. And I do ID everyone from here on out, no matter who they are, what they look like, how old I think they are. I ID everyone.
And you've had this license since 2012?
Yes, sir.
And this is your first violation?
Yes, sir. Well, that tavern has been in the family since for 60 years. It was my grandfather's, then my parents, and now it's mine, and my mother helps.
I'm feeling
She's here.
I'm feeling generous because it's my birthday, so I would find the violation of Rule 4.01A on October 28th, 2016. I'd impose a $250 fine and give you 30 days to pay it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sorry that happened.
I concur.
Sorry.
I concur as well. And Jessica, is that your name? I applaud you for coming here, and
Yeah, thanks for being honest with us.
I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
The only other thing I'd say, and y'all have heard me say it before, my bias is in favor of keeping employees, unless there's extenuating circumstances, and I'm assuming she's still working there.
Yes, ma'am.
She's learned her lesson. She's carding everybody. There hasn't been a subsequent violation. You'll be working together to make sure that it doesn't happen again and that any other employees are trained. And I just want to applaud that. I want to recognize
Thank you.
the good of that.
Thank you. I thank you all very
Good luck.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Down for you. Unless you want me to do it. I'll do it. Just calling the exhibits. Number 1 is Deputy Perez's report, and number 2 are the photo exhibits. And I believe number 3 would be Inspector Chrisomalis's report.
Be sure to get a cupcake. I mean, you don't have to get a cupcake.
And I'll meet you down here, ma'am.
Cool. Calling the next case. Calling Donald Summerhill, Summerhill Incorporated, trading as Brewster's Tavern, 2201 Gulf Street. This is a Class BD7 beer, wine, liquor license, a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors, October 28th, 2016.
Your name, ma'am?
I'm Kathleen Lovejoy, the general manager.
Okay. Would you raise your right hand, please?
Yes, Lovejoy.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Ms. Lovejoy, do you know whether Summerhill Inc. has ever been represented by Whiteford, Taylor, and Preston?
No, it has not. Oh, sorry. No, it's not.
Okay. And you're charged, or Summerhill is charged with a violation of sale to minors on October 28th, 2016. Would you admit or deny that?
We admit that.
Okay. Do you want to tell me what happened?
First customers of the evening, and the couple came in. I was actually in the back room because we were getting ready for a Halloween party in the next couple of days. So my bartender was in the front, I was in the back in the kitchen. I saw the couple come in, and then 5 minutes later, I saw the sheriffs and all the groups come in, and I came from the back room and realized that he had served the young lady who was obviously underage.
So what did you do at that point?
Proceeded to deal with the sheriffs and filled out everything they wanted me to and had a conversation. I did not fire that bartender. He was only with me for about another month and a half after that, but had a talking to with them about that, and I closed the door for 45 minutes after they left, and we had an in-depth conversation, and then we reopened for the rest of the evening. And currently, I only have 2 employees, and it's a rather small bar, rather small operation. I live upstairs. I'm there 7 days a week. And so even when I have a bartender on duty, if I'm not on duty, I'm cooking in the kitchen, so I'm literally 60 feet away.
So was Ms. Lovejoy cooperative?
She was very cooperative. When she came down, she admitted it was her full responsibility and very cooperative.
Commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
Thank
No
you.
questions.
Thank you.
Ma'am, you had some charter and property tax issues back in 2012, but since that, no violations like this previously. And
No, and we've never, we've got a 20-year history, and we've never served a minor.
I had indicated I'm feeling generous, so I would impose a $250 fine and give you 30 days to pay it.
Thank you very much.
I'll be with you in 1 second.
And it's totally okay. We're superfluous today.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long day. It has been a long day, but I agree with the chair.
Thank you.
I do as well.
Thank you very much.
Good luck, thanks.
Inspector Chris Analysis report. I'll do it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, not a problem. I'll call the exhibits. Exhibit number 1 is Deputy Perez's report. Exhibit number 2 are the photos, and exhibit number 3 is Inspector Chrysomalis' report.
Excuse me.
Calling the last case, Nidia Sierra, Bernina Incorporated, trading as Honey's Lounge, 1722 through 24 Gulf Street, is a Class D beer, wine, and liquor license. It's a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Harvey, good afternoon.
nice to see you again.
Are we going to have an admission or a denial?
I will have an admission
Okay.
with,
With some explanation.
yes, please.
Would you raise your right hand, ma'am, please?
Swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
And ma'am, are you Ms. Sierra?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you hear her? All right.
Better get closer to that, just in case there's
So,
a
Ms.
question.
Sierra or Mr. Harvey, what happened on October 28th?
Well, if I may proffer, Mr. Chairman, Ms. Sierra is the licensee. She's been there for 12 and a half years operating this establishment. And that particular day, she had been working from 10 a.m. until 6:20 when this occurred. The cadet, I think, is present here, came in, and there were a few other customers in the place. Ms. Sierra was a little bit nervous because she doesn't get that many customers all at once. And the cadet was, she tells me, was very friendly to her and had a friendly manner. And Miss Sierra mistook her. She thought that this was a former neighbor that used to be a customer that came in, and so she didn't think anything of it. She thought it was someone who had been in there before, so she didn't card her. Usually she will card her if she didn't know her. But in any event, she did serve her. She admits it. As I said, she's been there for 12 and a half years. There have been some administrative violations over the course of that time.
Sale to minor back in August.
Yes, yes. And the only thing I can say about that, Mr. Chairman, is sometimes these things happen in bunches like that. I mean, I can tell you from my personal experience, I remember back in 1977, I never had a speeding ticket, and I got one.
They do come in threes.
Yeah, and I got another one within a month, and I pleaded with the police officer, please don't give me another ticket. Bottom line is, that's been 40 years, and I haven't had one since. knock on wood. But in any event, I'm saying that Miss Sierra will probably be the same way. I don't think you'll see her in here for this again. The violation that occurred back in August was actually her daughter who made that sale, and the board was very lenient with her. I think it was a $250 fine and then $125 administrative cost. I'd like the board to know that Miss Sierra has a husband she's also caring for who has Parkinson's disease, and so that also occupies a lot of her time as well. She's very apologetic. She has done her alcohol awareness training, and she will admit to the board that this will never happen again.
Thank you. Commissioners?
No questions.
I have no questions.
Okay. On the basis of the admission and the reports that are in the record, I would find a violation of Rule 4.01A, sale to minors on October 28th, 2016, in light of the fact that you've admitted it and what you've told us, and you have to give some consideration to the prior record. I would impose a $500 fine and give you 30 days.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Oh, wait. You don't.
So I will go with it.
Thank you.
I think that a harsher fine is in order, but I will agree with the chairman today.
Thank you.
But I wouldn't next week.
No, I too concur, and would note that our file indicates your charter's not in good standing, so you should check that out as well.
We talked about that before. I appreciate
I took
your
it.
time.
Something has to change when there are violations this close together. Something has to change in terms of your practices and how the business is managed.
More things.
Pardon me?
I mean, for more things.
Yeah.
She'll pay
Pay
more
more attention.
Yes.
Very good. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That concludes our
Exhibits?
afternoon. Oh, sorry.
Yes. Board Exhibit 1, Sheriff's Department Report, Deputy Perez. Board Exhibit 2, photos. Board Exhibit 3, Investigation Report, John Chris Malice. Thank you.
And that concludes our docket for the afternoon.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for the cupcakes, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Enjoy tomorrow.
Thank you.
Cupcakes left?
There's